Hey, how's it going? We're gonna continue on with our spline tutorial. If you already have something already on your screen, what you want to do is probably clear that out. You can just go to New All, and it will reset everything for you, and don't save. And we're gonna get right into it. So let's get into working with splines. I'm gonna start with a little bit of line modeling. I'm gonna take this, and what I've done is gone into my front stage here. It'll work either way. You can do it in front, top, bottom, whatever perspective is a little janky sometimes. It's easier if you're working with a flat surface when you're doing a 2D object. That way you can control where all the points are. So front, top, left will be good. I'm going to expand on my front and start to model something out here. So let's see. Let's get into what shape do I want to go with. Let's go with, I'm going to start working with a line. And I'm just going to do a new shape. Doesn't matter because I'm only doing one here. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to create a simple shape here. Click that up. Start to curve this around. I'm just going to create this shape here. And straight down to close it out. Yes, close that. And all right, so I have a shape. If I wanted to, what I'm going to do is take this and turn it into an editable poly. So I can right click on that, not an editable poly, an editable spline. Take that, and what it does here is brings, turns this into something that you can now edit piece by piece. So I can go into vertex and see all the points here again, and I can alter that as I need to. So now, here I go. I'm going to go into some different techniques here. I'm going to go into my modify panel and start looking up something to do here. Let's go for extrude for right now. We're going to take this and we're going to extrude this, and you can tell it how much you want it to extrude. And from this view, you can't really tell, but here I can tell you, go down to my parameters and tell it how much to extrude by. So you can take that and change it however you need to. Other things I can do with that shape is, let's undo that. Let's go back into my front, and I can take that same shape and I can look into it, and let's delete my extrude, but go back into something called a lathe. And what that does is basically take that object and spin it around on its axis. I'm going to go to minimum, and so now you can see the object that was created here and why I chose that kind of funky shape. Kind of looks like some sort of weird chalice. So I can take that shape and now I can alter this. Makes it easier if I have edge faces on. Take a look at that shape and I can work with different parameters within that. So I can continue, I can weld the core, and what that does, it kind of smooths out the inside. Sometimes you'll see a lot of discrepancies inside where it doesn't quite fill out all the way, but here this one works out pretty good. So this is just one example of a way that you can alter these shapes, create new shapes, customize your shapes, extrude them. You can put them on a lathe, which basically just spins them around, kind of like a potter's wheel, in a three-dimensional form. So that's pretty much it for working with that line tool and lathe and extruding. So got some different options there for you depending on what it is you want to create.